This is how to play 21, the digitization of the popular game Blackjack. When you get into the game, you get to navigate through the menu. You get three choices: to start, go through to the store, or go through the options. For this video, we'll go directly to start. There you will get to choose if you want to play casual or ranked. In casual you play with friends and play for the fun of the game and can do custom match. While in ranked, it is the standard way of playing Blackjack or 21, where you meet people for the competition. When you load into a game, regardless if you created it or found it, you and your opponent will wake up in a dark room with TV monitors behind yourselves, with a table between you and the judge you've chosen or your opponent chose, above or beside you. Either you or your opponents get a starting turn at the start of the game, or at the start of every round for that matter. At a turn, you get to choose between drawing a card or keeping your current hand. Drawing a card can both have good or bad consequences. Before making a choice, you get to use your trump cards, which can alter the outcome very differently. Trump cards can turn you from a losing situation to a winning situation, and they have a real big impact on the game itself. Trump cards make the game so that it's far less luck and more strategic, which most players like more. When you start the game, you get to see what judge you have chosen or your opponent had chosen. What judge you have actually alters the game very much. If you chose Mr. Saw as your judge, you will go back and forth between losing and winning until one of you loses too many games or the bet is too high. If you chose Dr. Electrocutioner, you can see that you have around 7 lives, and depending on the bet is how much lives you will lose. So in summary, you can say that for Mr. Saw, you go back and forth between winning and losing lives, but with Dr. Electrocutioner, you only lose lives. So it's the one who loses their lives the fastest. The bet is how much you will win or lose between each round. The bet can either be randomly chosen or be set to rise for every round. That will say the bet increases for every round. The bet can also be influenced by certain trump cards, such as 1 up, 2 up, or shield. The point of the game is to get as close to 21 as possible without going over. If you indeed go over 21, you have in terms of the game lost the round. Thanks to trump cards, you can make your way back. If both you and your opponent goes over, busts, the game will choose the person who was the most over 21 or the farthest away to be the one who loses the round. In a case in which your opponent busts and is, for an example, 22 of 21, but you have 7 of 21, your opponent is technically closer to 21, but since they are over and you're below 21, you will automatically win the round, if your opponent does not save himself with trump cards. If you or your opponent quits during the game, the opposing player will automatically take the full win when it's the quit player's turn. And if either you or your opponent quits, the one who quit will die in a rather gruesome way. In 21, the game uses a deck of cards from 1 to 11. There's only one of each card in the deck, which makes for some strategic play where you can guess what cards are available for you to draw and what cards your opponent has hidden. Another interesting feature is that you can look on your opponent's face and see where they're looking to guess what they're thinking or doing. If your opponent looks to the right, they're looking at their trump cards. If they're looking down, they're looking at their cards. If they're looking up, they're looking at the bet. And depending on what cards you can see that they have or know that they have, and on what they're looking and what time they're taking to make their decision, you can guess what they're thinking or how their situation is. And that is how you play 21. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue to capture kids to my basement.